What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Project Manga podcast, where we cover week to week the 7 hottest series coming out of Weekly Shonen Jump. I'm your host, Eagle.
I'm Kiko.
Noxie.
And make sure, before we start, I'd just like to say, make sure you smash that subscribe button if you've been enjoying the Project Manga podcast so far. Every subscription helps us so much. And also like the video, and feel free to comment in the comment section down below. Also, follow the link tree in the description where you can find our Discord server and all of our other various social media platforms and stuff like that. In a couple weeks, we'll be hosting our very first Discord community event in the Discord itself. So if you want to join the Discord, you can witness that live. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's like an anime naming game. But with all that said, I think we can kind of get right into this. How you guys feeling this week?
Great, lovely.
Hey, I mean, you see the top knot, so you already know what time it is.
It looks a little different because we actually switched to recording on Discord. Just so you guys know, it looks a little different.
Yeah, we're all lined up now.
Yeah, clean.
I like it better.
But yeah, I'm also feeling good. I'm glad you guys are feeling all right this week.
Yeah, man.
So what do you guys think about Jujutsu Kaisen Chapter 75 Hidden Inventory Part 11?
You want this, Kiko, or Eagle? Who wants to go?
I think Eagle should take it this week.
Well,
yeah, you haven't even gone first on Jujutsu.
It's just Jujutsu, man. Wow, I've been catching up low key, trying to hang around in the background. But Gojo on some Yami shit this chapter, surpassing his limit. Actually, he didn't even surpass his limits because he actually used a technique that the Gojo clan kind of just keeps hidden from everybody, because he was explaining how certain techniques are like passed down within the 3 great families, where, you know, they're strong techniques, but they're easily counterable because, you know, since they're passed down and there's like a manual, quote unquote, on how to use them.
Right.
Other people know about them as well. But then he pulls out this technique, Hollow Purple. So cool. That they keep a secret, apparently, man. And he concaves Buddy's fucking torso out like a motherfucker. I'm like, oh my god.
And one of my favorite things about this series is how characters try to deduce as much as they can about their opponent and their opponent's abilities before they attack. And there's a lot of like internal monologuing that happens during combat, and we're constantly comparing it
very
to
Hunter-esque.
Yeah, we're just going to, because it just feels that way. Like, that's just the way it is. You know, we get it in this chapter while Fushiguro is you know, like thinking about you know, how to counter Gojo's what are the name of his abilities? Neutral, limitless, blue,
neutral, limitless,
and strength and limitless.
Red Force, the reversal, limitless, or what the hell?
Yeah, it's,
I had them written as neutral, limitless. There's no color. Neutral, limitless. There was like his neutral power, which I assume is the like barrier kind of thing that he has.
Reversal red. That's the power to repel the curse technique. Reversal red.
Yeah, neutral, limitless is the stopping power.
Limitless blue is the one where he condenses it and like
limitless blue is the
neutral limitless is the one where where he crushes it. But neutral limitless is the one that stops shit from hitting him.
Yeah, by like shaving off like infinite slices of the space in between his target. Yeah, and making you run into it. Yeah. Limitless blue is the attraction, and then reversal red is the repulsion. So we've seen this kind of shit. Yeah, we've seen this kind of like thought process a lot throughout the story. Another big example is like Todo and Yuji versus Hanami in the Goodwill event, where like Todo has that like really big internal monologue where he's like talking about like Hanami's techniques and like which ones he should have to worry about. And I just love seeing that kind of stuff in stories, because it's tactics and like strategy like that really sets the action in Jujutsu Kaisen apart from other shonen action.
It's what I read manga for almost.
Exactly.
This is it. This is my favorite like aspect of any manga, is when you actually get to go through their mindset, the strategy that they're going through while they're breaking shit down. Like that's just the best shit.
When it's more monologue than shit talking, because there's a lot of shit talking in shonen, you know, action. between characters, like, oh, you ain't shit, I'm way stronger than you, and I'm going to show you
Right.
you're way too young in the game, you're 100 years too early to fuck with me. Shit like that is cool, like we like that kind of shit, but it's like it's all the shit up here that makes that shit more compelling. Yeah. And Gojo makes a point, like Eagle was saying, about how easy it is to understand and use techniques that have been passed down through generations, but also because of how old and well known the clan is, the more people,
yes,
including enemies, know about it. But he didn't know about Hollow Purple, and he
didn't know about that purple, baby. Yeah.
Well, he mentions.
Oh my god.
Gojo mentions that even most people in the Gojo family don't even know it. It's hidden within them.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's like
only the top tiers.
Yeah. So that's huge.
And as we know,
we get
Gojo's the
the Kekkei Genkai feel, like I really love that these are family trait abilities that are passed down. And bringing up Toto, it's just a good example of like a character that doesn't have that and still is
top tier.
Top tier, and nobody fucking with him.
And Gojo even mentioned like earlier, I think like right before the Goodwill event, like when you first meet Toto and he's like kind of like comes off as like the school rumble douchebag character. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That you don't think you're going to love as much as you do, and his character is going to turn into what it does, because he's top 3 characters in the whole bitch to me. So
Toto is
I change my top 3 like all the time, but like I'm thinking about Toto right now, and it's just like, dude,
he's great.
Toto is my guy.
Yeah, and like. But yeah, man, he says it like right before the Goodwill event. I think he's like, these are shamans, in school that are eventually going to surpass me in the next generation, or could potentially surpass me in the next generation. Yeah. So, yeah, man.
Yeah. A couple other things. Well, I was gonna say another thing that I wanted to really talk about is so. Fushiguro has the heaven spear or whatever on
inverted spear of heaven
on the chain,
and he puts it on the chain.
Was so tight.
It was so tight.
Well, it's so tight how you like see the chain coming out of the
Ouroboros or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah. And then what's really sick about it is he's going through like what he can and can't deal with as far as red and purple goes, and how he's going to deal with shit. Yeah. And he strikes the ground and does like an underground attack where the chain comes out of the ground back up and I was like, ooh, that's so tight.
That's so
like I love underground shit. Just
like hidden, just concealed weapons, hidden attacks, things that come from blind spots, all that shit.
I mean, underground in particular for me, I don't know. It's just like maybe a Naruto feel, back in the day, like Doton, Kakashi pulls Sasuke into the ground, like back in early Naruto, where I was like, damn, Doton's broken. Like,
yeah, dude, yeah. And another thing I really liked about this chapter is that Gege is starting to inject a little bit of pathos here with Fushiguro, which is just such an important thing to do with like your villains or antagonists. So like we get his thoughts about how he let his pride get the better of him because he wanted to prove that someone with no cursed energy could take out the strongest shaman in the last like 100 years. Yeah. And he seems to be upset with himself for letting that happen, because it looks like he was supposed to have abandoned whatever lifestyle he used to be a part of, and the pride that came along with it once he had Megumi. And we see that flashback of him like holding Megumi, and like since it looks like he's dead here at the end of the chapter, like he makes a comment about how Megumi is going to be like sold off to the Zenin clan, which like probably implies that he's under some kind of contract. I don't remember if that was ever like explained or whatever in like early
I don't think so, but I agree, that's the implication, definitely.
Yeah, it's a big implication there, so like probably because he dies, like there's nothing like tying him to Megumi, and whoever he might potentially have a contract with is like, yo, if you ever die, like we're taking your son, and we're, you know what I'm saying, like you're cold-blooded, so like we want him for the future of whatever our like, whatever our business is. So
what if it's a contract with Sukuna, and that's why Sukuna's all dick hard for Fushiguro?
Whoa, is he?
Yeah, he is, definitely.
He is.
He wants to kill, Megumi for sure. Like more than anybody. So that's great.
That is great, but that means that Sukuna has like ties to the Zenin clan itself and not just Megumi.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, why would Megumi go to the Zenin clan and not directly to Sukuna?
Yeah. True.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
So another thing,
that's a crazy thought, though.
It is a crazy thought. Another thing that I wanted to mention is how Fushiguro refers to Gojo as the limitless. He said the awakened power of the limitless, you know, and that means that he's probably the greatest shaman, exorcist, sorcerer alive. Whatever one, the translation's going all over. Yeah. I like that you use shaman. I like shaman personally.
I like shaman a lot more too. I mean, exorcist is cool too, but
sorcerer is not bad too. But there's just a lot of magic stories right now, so and it's So like,
I like sorcerer.
I mean, I'm always gonna have a soft spot for sorcerer. Diablo 2 broken.
Yeah, and I don't like drawing parallels between like Jujutsu Kaisen and Aono Exorcist, just because like I see a lot of people like make that parallel like when they're first starting the series, and it's just wildly different from that series. Like once you actually like get far enough in it and you realize that. So like I'm gonna be using shaman. Pretty much exclusively.
I can agree with that. I'll fuck with that too.
We can all use different terms, really.
Yeah, sure.
We'll know what the hell we're talking about.
Yeah. Another thing. Well, the last thing I want to mention is how red was explained as a curse technique, where the rest of them were not. None of them have the words curse technique in it, other than red. From Viz, like if you're looking at it,
that is what Viz said, huh?
Yeah,
it's true. Yeah.
That red's a curse technique, which, I mean, I guess we don't have enough
because it's like a reverse Jutsushiki, right? You have to reverse. No, it's not. Yeah,
because it's
you have to reverse.
What happens when you
technique reversal or whatever?
Yeah, because two negatives.
You add two negatives to make a positive.
Equal a positive, yeah. So that's where the reversal comes from. But I mean, I figured it was all Jutsushiki.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
and I think healing was like foreshadowed way back when, because I remember Toto saying something about healing with reverse Jutsushiki.
Did he say that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gonna have to go ahead.
I mean, this is a two read through manga, and I ain't on my 100%. Second read through yet, and I'm not. I haven't done it yet. I haven't been able to get there yet. But this is definitely a two read through joint for sure.
Especially with like an energy system, you know, as complicated as Juryoku and Jutsushiki. So that kind of shit alone makes you want to read through it again. And there's so many moving parts in like, in the story arc plots, and like there's so many characters that matter. So. It's definitely it definitely feels like you're gonna want to go through it a second time to to get a couple other to put some things together.
There's a lot, and just with any story you're gonna liken to Hunter, you definitely have to read it twice. It doesn't matter, like it's just how it is.
And then that quote that we get from Gojo, throughout the heavens and earth, I alone am the honored one. So like I was seeing that online, and apparently that's a quote from Buddha, which I have written down here. It says Tenjo Tenge Yuiga Dokusan, which apparently he says just after being like born or reaching enlightenment, and it's most commonly translated as above heaven, under heaven, I alone am worthy of honor. So that was something really cool that I saw online when people were talking about it. But also Akutami Gege like made like an official statement about how Gojo using this quote in this chapter was supposed to be like arrogant. It was like an arrogant way. Like it was an arrogant
way. I can see that.
Because like he's
like everything just feels right.
Yeah,
I'm the honored one.
Yeah, he's out of here, bro. Like he's high as shit. He's riding some kind of like crazy, like endorphin or like adrenaline high from like regenerating and almost dying or something like that. So he's sitting here like, I'm tight as fuck. Like,
I mean, when you literally get stabbed in the neck and you still come back from that shit,
and
you're like, bro, I'm unstoppable.
Artery, and then in the forehead.
But he's like, yeah. But yo,
I mean, whenever you quote
some really pretty ass action panels, like Gege really is super nice with the action panels. I mean, they, like you guys said before, they are kind of sketchy, but like it's really easy to kind of discern what's going on.
Yeah.
And then also, I just want to say we should like just pay our respects to Fushiguro, because he's a fucking warrior.
Yeah, dude.
And I love the character. Yeah,
like this panel of him when he says, "Shit," he's like spinning this fucking inverted gear around.
Yeah.
Come at me, G. Oh my god! But he got snapped.
The last panel where he's standing there and his hands on the ground, I started dying. I don't know. It was funny to me that just his hand is sitting there.
His hand is on the ground.
I was done.
He's got that blank expression on his face, like my hands on the ground.
He might be dead standing straight up.
Yeah,
like that'd be tight too. Like I mean, that would further his hard bodiness right there.
Yeah, he's a champion, man.
I think he did die standing straight. Well, we'll see next chapter, I guess.
Yeah,
but
well, and the hole behind him too is pretty. You gotta mention the hole behind him that hits the building and shit, and just
goes straight through, no problem, clean.
Right. Mm-hmm. You literally just unmake things in your path, like you just delete shit. Yeah, it's out of here. Perfect.
Gojo's pretty broken.
Yeah, man.
Gojo the GOAT, man, but he's about to get sealed. Sad.
He's got to make the situation
to balance out the series because who can beat this?
A lot of my people that I talk about Jujutsu Kaisen with in a group chat on Twitter say that it's going to happen on Halloween.
Well, that's the date there. On actually Halloween.
Yeah,
in our time. That would be GOAT. If Gege does that, wow, that's. I mean,
yeah, man.
Wow, because the plan in the actual
chat.
Well, no, the plan canonically within the manga is to seal him on Halloween.
Yeah, dude.
Yo, that would be fucking GOAT. Is there an issue coming out on Halloween?
I don't know. I haven't done.
Is it a Friday? I gotta look.
Yeah, maybe.
I gotta look now.
I gotta look.
I mean,
we gotta see what's going on with this.
Sure. I mean, I don't really have anything else to say.
It's a Thursday.
It's a Thursday.
It's a Thursday. We could get the chapter early though.
Well, I think scans usually come out. Scans usually come out really late Thursday.
Yeah,
but I think that's about good on Jujutsu. What do you guys think?
Yeah, that's good.
I wanted to say. About time we moved on to some Hachimaru Den.
Yeah, and I'll take point on
Samurai 8.
I got some.
Well, wait! Before you even do that, I just got to mention the cover page.
Yeah,
is the first and second Hokage.
Yeah,
Tell me it's not.
Yeah,
tell me it's not the first and second Hokage.
It is.
I just got Madara vibes
I
when
didn't even see Hashirama and Tobirama in the cover page until you said something right before we started this. I was like,
well, and I love the callbacks to Naruto.
Yeah, 100%.
And some people might not. Like, I've seen a lot of just hate for Kishimoto on Twitter recently. And it's weird. I feel like people are just breaking their backs trying to find a reason not to like Samurai 8. And if somebody's going to do that, it would be me, honestly, because I love Naruto so much. And I feel like it fell flat at the end and kind of left me, wanting more.
Right.
And, but no, like if you just look at this objectively, it's been a great story thus far.
It has.
It has. And I feel like I heard some about the manga, the volume sales not doing too good, but I feel like in the last chapter in the viz, it said something in the notes about the first 2 volumes just going on sale. So if they haven't even gone on sale yet, this is.
I think that's talking about American though.
Oh yeah, most
so
likely.
So if they're complaining about manga sales, then they're probably talking about the Japanese.
It's definitely You're definitely probably right.
Yeah, but this chapter was really cool. I mean, we get a change of pace in action in the story, which is great. To get like right after like the high level energy attack that we get like a couple chapters ago with like clearing the moon or whatever. So we go like from that like moon level, high level. Combo attack to, we're starting to see like how combat works on like a more like controlled technical level. So like Ryu and Daruma's fight was really cool here because we're seeing Ryu contort the shape of his samurai soul for various situations and combat tactics, which is super tight. And
turns it into the sight.
Yeah, and it's very reminiscent.
Well, Darth Maul first. I thought it was Darth Maul first.
Darth Maul was hard body.
And then he turns it into a scythe. You get like a really big broadsword like at some point, and it's like very reminiscent of Nyoibo combat in Last Side.
Rip. Press F. Press F.
Did you ever read the last chapter of that?
No, man, I couldn't do it. My heart.
It hurt my feelings. The
last panel hyped me up.
Yeah, well.
For what though?
Exactly. I don't want that. I don't want that kind of hype.
Sad. Yeah. Last
for the end. I mean, they pretty much ended it. Like they did some shit where he like consoled with his dad, and then they flashed forward super far and like showed the squad about to fight the final boss.
I did see that. I think you put that cap in one of our group chats, and I did see that, and that did look really cool. Buddy had a baseball glove Nyoibo.
Yes, a baseball glove Nyoibo.
That was hard.
That's not what he would have had.
Yo, that was hard.
Yeah, probably not. That's just something that was a fan service thing. Like this is all I can give y'all. So.
I was thinking too, like, what the fuck is Buddy going to do with a glove?
Yeah, hey, man.
He just gonna walk up and slap bitches.
Fuck it. But yeah, man. Also, something that I thought was really cool in this chapter, we got some pretty big Jiraiya and Naruto vibes in the form of Hachimaru accidentally spending all of Daruma's money, which is like kind of like the reverse situation of when Jiraiya spent all of Naruto's money.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah,
hilarious. I mean, there was a lot of comedy in this, and there's for these chapters even that we're covering. I feel like there's a good amount of comedy in a lot of these. And the funniest part is when he's like, "Kill everybody here," and then Ryu's like, and they're like, "No, I'm just kidding, not me. What the fuck?"
Stupid?
I love Ryu.
Yeah, dude. Ryu's a good character. I forgot what his homeboy's name was, Hogusama or something. Hogusama.
You're probably right.
Something with the H, I don't know. But something I've been noticing is that this tournament arc, like that they're introducing so soon, is kind of getting a lot of hate on the internet right now, which I don't really understand. People seem to be acting like you can't have a good tournament arc if you don't have like a gang of established characters to use, as if Hunter x Hunter's story didn't start off with a tournament arc, or the Chunin exam wasn't like the second arc of Naruto, or like One Punch Man's tournament arc.
I think people just want to hate on tournaments at this point.
Yeah, and it's fine, but it's like it comes with the genre.
Yeah, I don't know why anybody would hate on tournaments. It's just I know it's like I don't know, like in a lot of stories it feels kind of like maybe the story of like just it's not furthering the story a lot of ways, but I don't know. Like
this one sounds like it could further the story a lot of ways because it's got one of the keys as the prize.
Yeah, and it's not just like Well, is that a prize? Is that?
Or I don't know if it was necessarily a prize, but they said
at this point that,
like one of them might be over there.
$1 billion is $1 billion.
$1 billion is a big deal.
Do we know if we have to like murder Buddy and just take the key, or if he gonna squat up?
I think he's gonna squat. I think somebody has to actually use the key. Don't they have to all Hachimaru's clones? Don't they all have to like use the shit?
That's what I thought too. Like, because his is within him, but he can't like hold more than one.
Can he not?
No, I don't think so.
I thought that was what they were trying to explain in the previous chapter with the H particles, but like, and the explanation that you get about how samurai go through life and like acquiring more keys and locker balls and shit, and like you can probably have multiple of them. I don't know. I'd have to double check again, but I don't remember that being.
I'm talking about the Pandora's box like key.
Yeah.
Isn't that the only keys that there's Pandora and Mandala's box, and the only keys that matter are for those two things, right?
The Pandora. Well, yeah.
But all samurais have keys to their locker ball, right? Or is the bone hilt? Is the bone hilt a key?
No, a bone hilt's not a key.
The bone hilt is separate. No, it's the bone hilt belongs to the
holder.
The holder, yeah.
Yeah. I remember that now. And we did see Ryu use 2 samurai souls.
Yeah, he did. So
what does that mean?
I think he did pull another soul.
Yeah, to put it on the other end of the hilt.
Yeah. I don't know what that means. I think I wasn't expecting that. I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
But that's really cool though.
We'll definitely see for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And like a prediction that
Oh,
go ahead.
Big tiger vibes from Daruma, man, when he fucking screams at Hachimaru.
Yeah.
That panel of him screaming was like, what the fuck? What the hell?
Yeah. And like
terrifying, man. You don't want to get bit by that motherfucker.
Nah, hell no. And like $1 billion is a good enough reason for them to go to this tournament by itself. Even if Hachimaru didn't spend all of Daruma's money, like a billion yen is a big deal. The key being there is also more than enough reasons. So like it seems like the plan is like moving forward organically towards this tournament. Yeah. But I feel like Ryu and his homeboy is gonna like try to like rob him for that $1 billion if they win it. Because like a lot of people like want him to like be like a part of the squad or whatever, and I can totally see that too. But I feel like there's going to be a conflict like before they join. If they do join, they'll probably be like, all right, I'm gonna try to snatch this shit from y'all since y'all won the tournament and y'all are rich now. Like I can definitely see there being a little bit of underhanded, ulterior motives there in that regard too.
I really liked how Hachimaru's character growing a little bit with him kind of getting a little bit more serious about this whole shit at the end of the chapter where he's like, 2 birds with 1 stone.
Yeah.
Mind if I join the festival too?
Yeah.
He's like, yo.
Starting to think like a samurai now.
Yeah, he's starting to get a little bit more out here.
Yeah, it's good.
It
was a good
chapter. And then he's like, that's more like it.
what's the old man running outside like, hey, you owe me 700 yen this instant, you thieving cat bastard. Like, because he tried to make the payment, but he only had 100 yen left after the whatever 150,000
thieving cat bastard.
Yeah, he just wants his bread.
Yeah, I mean,
but is that like dock fees or something? Are they going to fly off? Because it kind of made it sound like they were going to go return those textiles.
Yeah, it wouldn't let him.
They can probably lock people inside that barrier.
Yeah, it did seem. Well, that's what he was talking about. He was like, "We're not letting you leave until you come out those pockets." But it does seem. It did seem like they were, implying that he was going to return the textiles. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Also, Ryu has a free shot on Daruma and splits what you would think would have split his head.
Nope.
And he just tanks it, and it ain't shit. And Ryu's like, damn, I can't fuck with him.
This motherfucker is different.
Mm-hmm. So that's good, because I want to, obviously we know Dharma is among top tier, right? But just, I don't know how things went with Atta, obviously he's lacking a lot of the power that he used to have.
Yeah.
Right.
And I still want to see, because this could be like a Saratobi situation where, he's going to get fucking killed and we're going to be sad. And because of his draining power, I don't want to like it
this way, bro.
I don't want to
like. Doesn't he just come back then? Like, I wonder what the time lapse is there. Like, if he has to wait a certain period of time before he can get reincarnated into a new, body.
I don't know. There's got to be some way to separate your soul from the universe and not give you the chance to reincarnate.
True.
Yeah,
I would think.
I feel like there's going to be something that introduces a little bit higher stakes there, because it does seem like these samurai are a little bit too invincible.
Yeah, they just turn into a puddle and then regenerate.
Yeah. But I'm excited to see how Kishimoto stakes after establishing.
It's when you give up on your warrior's will and shit. Then your shit. Your shit. No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, he's hard body as free. I quit, man. Hey, just fuck me in the ass.
maybe I ain't cut out for all this. No, he's never saying something like that.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
And it just seems like unlikely that almost any samurai would lose their samurai spirit if they know they just get reincarnated and keep fighting.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's what happened to the old man.
Furuka?
He got bitched by Atta.
Furuka?
The old man.
Hachimaru's dad.
Was defending Hachimaru's planet.
Yeah, the guardian of that planet.
He got bitched by Atta. Yeah. Watched his princess die in front of his eyes, and then Atta was talking that good shit right in his mouth.
Maybe you just gotta talk enough shit.
Yeah, you gotta disgrace this man and kill his girl in front of him and all that.
Yeah, when you get one shotted out of Phoenix form in the vacuum of space, that's a big hit.
The Japanese love talking shit. We should see him on the basketball court in the hood, It's like all there is shit talking. Half of manga is shit talking.
So what you want to
do? He's got black forces on.
There wasn't really much to this chapter, just kind of a lot of comedy and action panels.
Yeah.
And then there's of course the information that we're going to the billion yen tournament.
Yeah, I said everything I needed to say.
Yeah, me too.
All right, well, it's pretty fitting to move on to Chainsaw Man.
The real tournament arc of 2020.
The real tournament arc, the best tournament arc of the century.
Oh man, this chapter had me die. At least 3 of these chapters killed me. No, I would say 4 out of 7 of these chapters, I literally spit something out or something like, all right, tournament arc, here we go. Wait, we're just about to kick this motherfucker in the nuts for this?
I know. I was really thrown off. What are we talking about with the tournament arc? And all of a sudden he's just I'm gonna kick him in the dick. Whoever wins. What the fuck? I'm
bro.
Hi, Kyle. You want in on kicking him in the dick? Hey, jump in. It's dick kicking time, bro.
Yeah, right? Man, super sad. Maybe we'll have a tie-in episode in the future where we debate the Savage of the Year once we get a little bit closer to January.
I mean,
Denji's up there.
Denji is.
Papa Guro and Denji, two biggest savages in Jump right now.
Oh man, but again, this is still a chapter with not a lot to not a lot happened.
Sawatari's out of here.
Out of there. Well, Didn't
I mean, at least it seems
that
like
was a
it.
flashback though. We saw that happen, right?
No, that's real time. No,
that's
see that the last
it's
time we
black
saw
behind the panels.
Yeah, but I mean, the last time that we saw Sawatari, Himiko had the knife up to her neck. You know, yeah. And I'm kind of sad that Himiko didn't end her shit and get some kind of retribution for her people. But I mean, hey, dead is dead.
I mean, it is what it is, you know.
Yeah.
And so we get to see the Angel Devil man looking at some shit. Like I really didn't know what to take from that. Like
me neither.
He's just like looking off into the distance where like it's like cloud. There's like a break in the clouds or something, and I don't know. A bunch of birds are like flying off. I don't know.
Sees that he recognizes their requiem, and sees Himeno's soul passing on.
Yeah.
Or something. I don't know. I'm just making it. I'm just talking.
I mean,
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. But yeah, not too much to take away from this chapter.
I think actually huge information.
Yeah.
There's a huge thing we cannot forget to mention, because they're talking about how they finally have collected enough of the gun devil's flesh.
Oh yeah,
to where
it's starting to move. The Viver card.
To move towards
the Viver
card. Yo, they know where this motherfucker's at. They know where he lay now. Yeah. No, they don't know. They don't know where he lay.
Oh, and
they know in which direction he lay.
And it's scary as fuck, the dream that Denji's having about his chainsaw dog. What was it?
I wanted to say that too. Don't open it no matter what Pochita said.
But that's
the door to the true chainsaw ability.
That's the 9 tails, yeah.
Ooh.
He's gonna have 9 chainsaw tails once he
because they kept hyping it up about how like chainsaw used to be different and like you're weaker than you used to be. This is the
connected dots
ability behind the door.
And I think I saw like some like theories online that said that we're trying to say that like Makima herself was the gun devil. I don't think I ever remembered to ask you guys how you felt about that, but yeah.
I mean, I don't hate it because I hate that bitch.
Yeah.
I don't know if I hate another bitch more than this one.
Yeah,
right
dude,
now.
she's
like,
bad.
The panels too, like the one where it's just her face up close. I don't know what it is. It's like the swirl. She has like a hypnotic eyes.
Like
the Rinnegan. Thank you. Yes,
like Illumi from Hunter x Hunter.
Oh man, I'm just like I don't know. Like if she doesn't do like something huge to redeem all this shady shit she's doing, like
I mean, she had a pretty big moment when she killed a lot of Sawatari's people using her like crazy like Death Note-esque ability where she sacrifices people and then just starts making.
She was just like smushing motherfuckers from distances.
Even the way her ability works, man.
Yeah, no, she's shiesty, man.
Yeah. But yeah, that panel, you could take that away from it where the dude is like, oh, it's finally time. And he's like, toward where? And it's just her face like,
yeah. Yeah.
Toward me, bitch. Yeah.
Toward whatever I tell you to do. I'm running shit around here and you don't know it.
Yeah, but I mean, if she was the gun devil, wouldn't she have a different ability than what she showed us? Wouldn't it be gun devil?
Well, the gun devil can like just wipe shit out. Like, I don't know. It was saying like, 5 minutes it killed like 500,000 people. Like,
but we don't know the cause of the damage though. It could just be one giant bullet that just like goes through your entire town.
Yeah, because they were saying it in different countries. This country had 350,000.
It just showed like devastation.
Yeah, it just showed devastation, but we don't know the source.
Yeah.
Power. Is this just some quirky shit where she grew these horns, or is this like some kind of like?
She's been having horns.
No, but it's more horns. It's she's got a power up somehow.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. She's got a power up or something because like before she just had the ones that sticked up straight out of her head, right?
Yeah, and they weren't as long as those ones. Those are like twice as long now that they're sticking up. And then she's got Frieza horns too.
She got experience points off those zombies.
Yeah, man.
She got EXP out here.
And they made a point not to show the horns too in the first panel where you see them all three laying there.
Oh. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like she got these big ass horns, and then she also knocks the shit out of Denji.
Man, I told y'all Chainsaw Man.
And says, "What is this power?" Actually, she says, "What is this power?"
Yeah,
you did say
she definitely got stronger.
Yeah. Like there's a lot that you can take away from even chapters that are as like straightforward as the ones that we just got. So, but I'm happy it's on the roster.
Well, if she leveled up off those fucking zombies, she must have been farming zombies all week because they gave no experience.
Did you see how many there were, dog?
There was a lot.
She was farming for days.
Basement level full of.
She was farming for days.
Shoulder to shoulder. Yeah,
she had to be farming zombies.
She had good farming. She had good farming. She had all the aggro.
She was fed.
Yeah.
Solo farming in the duo lane. All right. Well, that's about covers it. I mean, it's not much to this chapter, like you guys said. So, with that being said, we can move on to Hyakusoku no Neverland. Promised Neverland.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Noxie.
Yeah, this was a pretty suspenseful chapter with the Gillen situation against Legravalima.
Legravalima.
Yeah.
Legravalima. Yo, this chapter was...
I really thought he was about to do this bitch, bro.
I
really thought he was about to go crazy.
He had it right here on her ass. Like,
I know, literally. It was so close. And Kaiju Shirai doing a great job of making us really root for Gillen hardcore in just a couple chapters, which is just a testament to his writing ability. The adhesive strategy seemed like it was really going to do the trick, but she was just too tight, man.
It's just she was just too much, man. She's too raw, and the fingernail power is just
when she counters
Atomic Samurai.
Man. Yeah, exactly. When she counters him and turns him into bathroom tiles.
Yo, that
I was like, holy shit!
That atomic slash on that ass.
Yeah,
it was crazy too because
Samurai vibes.
Literally, because like it's the panel where she's about to get stabbed, and then it's the panel where it's just all black. He's diced up, and her hand is just like vibrating a little bit, like it's just like kind of.
It's like drawn a little bit different,
Yeah.
And he really made me think he was about to regenerate and like do some shit, but nope, stiletto to the eyeball. It's over.
Yeah, no. Well, you thought she was about to really let him get back up? No.
I mean, she was talking her shit, and like it seemed like he was like, "Yeah, keep talking shit. I'm about to come back on your ass," but nope, over with.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean,
Rest in peace, Gillen.
Rest in peace, Gillen. But hey, you already know it's Zazie hours, though.
It's Zazie season.
Zazie about to activate finally.
Yo.
Yeah. And
what if he gets one shot?
No, because Gillen got the mask off. Gillen got the mask off, so it seems like it's kind of in the bag. But I mean, I don't know. I'm going to be really hot if Zazie goes down here. But once again, Norman is different, man. Like, the only way that I can see Zazie dying is if it's also a part of Norman's plan for him to die. You know what I mean, unless Emma shows up and fuck shit up some kind of way, but but I mean, I don't know. I feel like she'll confront Norman first, and not like run into Zazie. I feel like she'll run into Norman before she runs into Zazie because she's pretty good at finding people. But I don't think Emma knows how offensively Norman will murder her if she pulls a fast one during this plan, bro, because
Norman is not gonna murder her.
Bro,
you think Norman is gonna sick Zazie on Emma?
No, not that he's gonna sick. I mean, we know where Zazie is now, and I don't think Norman is around. I mean, if he is, then that means that if Emma does show up, she'll have to run into both of them. But like, Norman's really serious about this, and we know that his life is on a time. It has a time limit now, and if for any reason that Norman would press the button on Emma, it would be because his days are not like he's on borrowed time, and he really wants to see whatever the culmination of his plan is come to fruition. And I don't think he's going to let anybody fuck that up at this point, not even Emma. You know what I mean? So like I
could go either way. I mean, it's hard to think that Norman would just cold-blood murder Emma, but it's also hard to like totally rule it out.
Murder.
Like, this little girl is done.
Just
chop her ass up.
Like, even someone as like calculating and like brooding, as Norman could potentially like while out and do some irrational shit, just knowing that there's a countdown on him now. You know what I mean? If he's really coughing up blood, like on his way out, like if he's almost done with all his living, then he might really go crazy, like in the heat of the moment, like, if Emma really does try to throw a monkey wrench in this shit, which she's definitely going to try to. So I mean,
well, she did remake The Promise, and we don't know what that really means.
I'm subscribed to the theory that The Promise is I'm eating you and your people, and then the rest of y'all can go. Like you, Ray, and Norman, y'all got the tightest brains. I'm eating those, and then the rest of y'all can bounce. Like
and
it's like a deal with it. It's like a deal with the devil kind of situation. You know what I'm saying? Like the devil doesn't give you what you want, exactly what you want, without saying, "Give me something you can't live without."
It's just the thing that if guy with squiggly name, God guy, eats
God Squiggles.
them, God Squiggles, if he eats those three, like eats their brains, there's no way he ain't gonna want more of those kind of kids. Like, like it's just you can't just live off them 3 brains,
It's
know.
like
And
he's
like
always
Pringles, you can't have just one.
He's always been fed brains like that, though. So maybe, I mean, what could support the theory more is that he's like, well, that's because like at the Tifari, they always get the highest quality brain.
But I think they made a point to say that they haven't seen.
And I'm pretty sure that at any other point in time, that kind of brain, like the 300 IQ motherfuckers, are only, or the score 300 rather, are only reserved for like the queen. And
I
the
wouldn't
royal
put it
family.
past Norman to have a 300 IQ. That motherfucker is crazy.
But the point I was trying to make is what would support that theory that the dude wants to eat their brain is like, okay, I'll let y'all go. But since I'm never going to get the chance to eat brain again, a human brain again, y'all got to give me your brains because you have the highest quality brains and it's the last ones I'll ever have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. Yeah, and that is fine. It's weird to think that the demon god would let the humans live and not like no matter what the promise is, and like there's just no like there just has to be some bigger thing behind all this, because it's like they need to go to different planets and just live on their own planets, because why would the demon god side with humans on anyway, no matter what? Because all the demons are dead, and then
he must also know about the blood, right? The immortal, not immortal blood, but like the
blood or whatever.
Or maybe God's
Musica's blood.
Maybe God's
Musica's blood.
Maybe God's is already an otherworldly being or a multiversal being, and this is just a little like one of his little side planets that he gets food from, and he's got another planet full of people that he can just eat from.
But he looks like them, like
maybe.
But he's little.
Yeah, maybe that race is like far-reaching throughout the universe or the multiverse or whatever. Maybe that's like that is the
true God race.
Yeah. That shows up everywhere.
That's some big stuff we'll need. Yeah, that's some big stuff we'll need at some point. But it's hard for me to wrap my head around like I don't know. Anything that I think of seems like it's possible, and then I could think of reasons why it's not possible. And like I could go a lot of directions with this story, and I can't wait till we get 20 more chapters.
Yeah,
I mean, I feel like we were saying a couple episodes ago. There's just so many moving parts. It's just great writing in Promised Neverland.
It really is.
But I think that about covers it.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the big three, Black Clover, and not a lot to this chapter.
Same thing as some of these chapters. It's kind of just whatever.
Yeah,
pretty much. I mean, just whatever. Right? We get some supposed to be some kind of sentimental stuff between Damnatio and Julius. But
I love that.
Like at this point, I really don't give a fuck about Damnatio.
I mean,
he's a piece of shit.
I'm subscribed on the other side of that because
I mean, at the end of the day, I'll probably care about him because he's probably got a good story behind him.
Yeah, I mean, especially with this chapter that we got, like once again, Tabata is just really impressing me, with his writing, because like I really didn't think that I would ever be able to like Damnatio even a little bit after he's been acting the last couple chapters, but after this conversation that he has with Julius, I mean, I wouldn't say I like the guy. But I mean, I'm feeling a little bit different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a little better.
He literally has to carry these scales around constantly like this.
Yeah. And
that's kind of what it looks like, right? Yeah.
Buddy's arm has got to be jacked. It's got to be like, because otherwise his shit is burning.
What was that one?
But it probably doesn't weigh anything. It's probably like a magic scale.
What was that one M. Night Shyamalan movie where like the dude like did like an experiment to see like the difference in his muscle growth if he only lifted weights like a dumbbell with one arm for like 5 years straight? I don't know. One of the super obscure like M. Night Shyamalan
I don't remember.
He's got like some like kind of like crazy like dolphin lady like mermaid in his backyard. I don't know. It's some M. Night Shyamalan shit. Anyway,
you gotta hit it with that. What a twist!
Also,
what a twist!
we get Marks and Julius meeting back up, and the little
that was nice.
What the fuck word am I looking for? Reunion between them. That was nice. That was nice.
It was good.
I liked it.
But the rest of the chapter was just like throw it in the trash. Like it was funny. It was funny.
It was funny. I mean, I'm never gonna take Charlotte serious ever again. But
I know.
I mean, like that's the
Like-
only thing that I'm taking away from this. Like, I don't care how bad you are. Like, you literally just like ran 900 miles an hour through a city on top of water because you
And she stole
Right.
a baby out of somebody's
And you
house and then
actually-
turned around and gave it back. Dude, I was dead. I'm telling you, like all these, almost every chapter this week had a
Yeah,
part where I
it
was like,
was
"What the
great.
fuck?"
I'm
Yeah.
glad that Tabata seems to be like kind of like taking a little break before we move into this like, you know, like other kingdom shit that's about to really crack off, obviously. But it's cool
Yeah.
to get like a little relaxation chapter. But I mean, like Charlotte's still cool. I still love her character, but it's just like it's gonna be hard for me to take her serious again after something.
Well,
like that.
It gives her like room to grow,
Yeah,
even though
yeah,
she's
yeah.
like super strong. You know, like because I don't really remember the exact like circumstances around it. How like she's the blue rose or whatever, and she should have red roses, but something about it, like her family has red roses, but something about her makes her have blue roses. Or maybe I'm remembering that incorrectly.
I
But
can't
No, I
remember.
think you might be right with that. I think I remember hearing something about that.
yeah, it's something like she just her family. I don't know. Like even though she's like really strong, she might kind of be like, I don't know, an outlier or an outcast in her
Mhm.
family. Even I don't know. I don't really remember everything around it, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not really willing to write her off as a character yet, even though this doesn't look good for her. And
Yeah.
I you know, I just kind of hate it when that happens to like some of the more badass women characters because I thought she was going to be like
Yeah.
a real
Yeah.
something out here
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I had her, up there, on like in the same echelon as like Leona, but just waiting for her to activate in that way.
yeah,
But
it
now
doesn't
it's
look like that's what happened, no,
Yeah, but
or it's
hey.
what's going to happen. But another thing I want to talk about this though, back to Julius and Damnatio, it just something that Damnatio's talking about, like like you're very forgiving, blah, some shit like that, and Julius is like, I haven't forgiven, I've entrusted, and it's not
faith.
responsibility, it's my faith, yeah. It just Julius has a lot of good shit like that,
Yeah,
like,
dude.
Yeah.
and I'm glad to see it. I'm glad to see it even when he's like a kid still, because like, and obviously still supposed to be the same person, but like old grown Julius, I don't know, like especially like where the anime, obviously he's dead in the anime, or people don't know that he's alive, but
Yeah.
I don't know, just if you've only watched anime, but that character,
Yeah.
I don't know, just felt so like, I don't know, like you were protected. It just like felt like a really strong anchor for the, just a lot of things that made you feel good about him. And I'm glad
Right.
that I still feel that way, even though he's.
Yeah, I kind of wanted him to stay dead, like when he first came back, but like now,
Sure.
now that he's back, I'm like, this is fine. Like this is just this is just the story that's being told. And
I mean,
it makes sense with time magic
to be good. Yeah, and it does make sense.
Yeah, it does make sense.
Yeah, I mean, he used the magic item, and they, the explanation I was actually pretty surprised was actually pretty solid.
Yeah, it was
it's good.
very good. Man.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I wasn't mad at it.
But that's all I got for this chapter.
That's
this was
really all there is.
Yeah, this was. Well, I guess one more thing is that Yami was supposed to ask Charlotte about Veg or Weg or whatever.
Yeah, he did say that.
And she thought, this was not that, and ran down the street.
The ball.
Yeah.
I just
like Hawkins dance.
At first, I really liked Charlotte because she was a badass, And then there was that first inner monologue she had about liking Yami, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's
already
fine.
knew that though.
But then it like literally devolved into like this worse and worse, and now she's like doing this kind of shit. It's like,
yeah, and like the ending chapter
feels like she's kind of regressing.
Well, and there's like a little note at the end of the chapter that says like next issue, a love comedy arc ? Like there better fucking not be.
Yeah,
don't fuck around.
I got my fingers crossed on that. Like go.
Yeah, please no. But if it resolves her character back to like what it kind of was before.
Yeah. I just want to see her steal on Yami now, like knock him out at this point. Like that's what I need.
If Tabata wants to take a break, go ahead. He's done. He did a lot. That last arc was huge.
That last arc was a lot.
Yeah.
It was huge. Yeah. It spanned. I mean, it was a saga, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it spanned over multiple
about 40
arcs.
chapters.
Yeah.
Where they would fight.
Yeah. We're talking about all the way back to when they got basically
the Eye of the Midnight Sun showed up like when Rades, Voltos, Sally first showed up attacking.
Yeah.
That was the start of all this. It's been a very long saga.
Well, and I was more talking about like when the elves came into play,
Yeah, you can start it there too.
That was the true like getting into like the meat of it though. But it all started with
I mean, this whole story's been that, other than the diamond shit at
it's
the
all
beginning.
been leading up to this kind of
So
but I think that's we can move on to good old Boku no Hero Academia.
Yeah, man.
At first, I thought this wasn't much, but on my second read through, I'm like, there's a lot of shit in this, like, low key in this, man.
How do they keep making Eddie cuter and cuter, man? That little note that he writes her while she's like learning the alphabet, dude.
And his mom cries fucking a river out the window.
I'm so happy that
it's literally bursting up.
Yeah, I'm so happy that Deku's mom doesn't have to like worry about him anymore now that he's like shown some real like strength and accomplishments, because like that conversation that she has with All Might, that it almost gave me a heart attack, like back then.
Where she was like, nah, he ain't going.
Yeah, because like I'm thinking about like my mom and like what she would think, and like her worry for Deku was just like so heartrending, So like I'm really happy that she's, found some peace in what Deku is doing. So I really liked that moment there. In the flashback conversation with All Might and Bakugo and Deku, All Might makes a really good point about how much Bakugo can learn from interning with Endeavor. Which I
really like that Bakugo is the one who most resembles Endeavor of anybody in the show thus far. Yeah. Like that was, I didn't really think of that, but it's very true that he's very I'm surprised that ain't secretly his dad.
Bobby, where you at?
Hey, I mean, we know Endeavor likes to have kids, man. He's all around out here,
Bobby, where you at?
Anybody that uses
Endeavor's paying mad child support.
Oh man, it's over with.
Number one hero.
Yeah.
He's paying $28,000 per kid, and he's got like 38 of them.
There's actually like there's a lot in this chapter. Like there is a lot, because
there is.
I mean, Hawks is all over the goddamn place.
Yeah, he's everything in this. Really.
He's doing every fucking thing, dude. He's like at the beginning of the chapter, he's like meeting back up with these Liberation Army dudes.
Yeah,
or the Liberation Front, rather.
Paranormal.
No, well, it's not in the Viz. But anyways, I digress. Buddy snapping on Mass dude, saying like, basically like, you a shit stain, dude. Like you ain't nothing. Get out of here.
He's like, oh,
the dude that was talking shit to Hawks, talking about I'm your superior. Yeah. He's like, what's his name? Slide and go. And he's like, you ain't shit, G.
That's got to be the Viz name for him.
No, it was like that in the
Manga translation
too. Yeah, motherfuckers is capping.
Not my president.
Yeah.
I wrote down some,
and then at the end of the chapter,
Hawks commands
back in the city where this villain dude is popping up. Hawks is like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
he's all over the damn place.
Yeah, he's got wings.
I don't even understand. Well, no, that's just he's doing too much. G.
Yeah. I mean, that's gonna all blow up in his face. Sure.
I don't know. So like, I mean, of course, like he's playing both sides.
Yeah, he's
but
doing the most.
So. That's the question, though. Is Hawks planting surveillance devices for the Liberation Front? Because that's what,
that could be the determining factor in whether or not he is actually with them, if he really goes through with planting the surveillance devices successfully and not sabotaging them in some way.
Yeah, I mean, that's got to be what's going to happen. I mean, I don't know. Like, he really still seems to be on the side of the heroes, even though, I mean, he might not be, but I don't see, and I've said it before, I feel like he's just kind of out for himself and may not care about which side he's on.
It could be a situation like that too. I think we brought that up in a previous episode.
It definitely could be.
But I mean, I don't know. I still want to feel like he's running with the hero still. It still feels like it. It doesn't feel like he
seems stressed, like low key, like maybe not like externally when he's dealing with the paranormal or Liberation Front or whatever we want to call it, but like, beneath the surface you can tell he's like, man, I really want to get in and get out so I can like really do some hero, like, some hero shit, you know what I mean? Like I just get that vibe. I don't really feel like he's got like, devious ulterior motives like that.
Well, yeah, and he stated that he's, locating the source of the Nomu, and he doesn't want anybody to talk to him in anything other than code because, he doesn't want to be found out, obviously, so.
He's in deep now.
He's in real deep. Yeah. But yeah, I there was a little bit of comedy in here, how Hawks was condescending to Dork Hero guy, like, yes, sir, yes, fuck out of here. Yeah. And also another funny part is when Bakugo he has a scale and he's weighing Top Hero, with hanging out with It says Deku and it says Scrub. So he's calling Todoroki Scrub.
Yeah, funniest part to me was when Endeavor was like, "Welcome to the internship site."
Yeah, no, fuck that.
What you thought this was, bro? It's Endeavor hours, bro.
This ain't All Might School, bitch. This is fucking Endeavor School. I'll burn the fuck out of all y'all.
Yeah. But Hades though.
That's a cool character design and drawn well.
I couldn't help but get big Zenyatta from Overwatch vibes from Hades. Yeah, he's just floating in a prayer type cross leg throwing that big Zenyatta vibes coming from Hades. That's a really amazing design and at first the hair from his beard kind of looked like Shigaraki was floating in the middle of the city. I almost had a heart attack.
I felt like that too. Yeah, when I first saw it, I was like,
I thought it was Shigaraki when I seen it too at first, and I'm like, whoa! But
this man really leveled up. What else this dude got? He's floating and shit.
I'd be like, we're going crazy, but I don't know if this guy's name is actually Hades. He just says Hades is smiling upon us. Yeah,
I'm just calling him Hades until we get something different, but.
Yeah. And Rock,
I really like his character design though, like you were saying, man.
It's
got that big long fucking hat,
just hat. Well drawn too. This panel's really good. Once you notice it's not Shigaraki.
He goes crazy on his art and his designs, man. That's one thing.
And the stills for sure.
And the stills,
and his
are
designs
really good. And his facial expressions, and his anatomy is really good too. But
Hawks is reading the Liberation Front's playbook, he's some X and O's. What's he reading at the end? Is this just their message that he's supposed to be?
I thought so, yeah.
Out? Okay, that's their religion. He's reading the Liberation Front Bible.
War, yeah,
just more of an inclination that he's really is.
So that's the Viz translation. Meta Liberation Front.
Meta Liberation War. It says in the book.
But what is their group called in Viz? Meta Liberation Front.
It's just the Liberation Front.
Okay.
All
right. But yeah, that's really all I got for it.
That's all I got too. It's a great chapter.
That's where it ended. At first I was like, is things really happening in this chapter? On my second go through,
once we start talking about chapters, we realize how much more is going on in them.
Definitely.
And I something that wasn't too huge, but I really liked was to see that Endeavor was you said, he was looking down on fucking Deku and Bakugo. I'm not really about training you motherfuckers. The only one I'm trying to make stronger is my own son. But when he was like, all right, just sit back and watch, see if you can keep up. He looks back and they're all just like, we here, motherfucker. What's up?
Yeah, which goes back.
We ain't falling back, motherfucker.
Which goes
they all come out their briefcases too, to put their shit on.
No, that was sick. How they're.
This is all going back to what I was talking about in the last Jump episode about how Todoroki could potentially get outshined by Bakugo and Deku here, and Endeavor might, really tweak out and turn back into go back to his old ways.
He acted.
Yeah, he might really be like, Todoroki, get my belt.
Give my belt. Go pick a switch.
You gotta be mad when you try to specialty breed your kid here to have double powers, and he should be the strongest out here. And
but he's soft he's soft like the Flanders on accent.
And I wouldn't call him soft. I just feel like he does it so indifferent. He's just I don't really give a shit about anything.
Which I love about his character.
Yeah, maybe it's just the fact that, and it's just kind of coming into me now that he's half hot and half cold, that it just puts him balanced in the middle. He doesn't get mad. He doesn't get fucking, nothing. It's just his emotions are just even keel no matter what.
That's good. So, I love that. I'm just glad that he's not just another prodigious douchebag, because we already have Bakugo, we don't really need we don't really need two personalities like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
At least not in the same class,
It's kind of the stark now that you bring that up, that there is kind of like that dichotomy with their personalities, where Todoroki's like kind of right in the middle split. Baku goes like the extreme, and then Deku is the other extreme, where he is,
timid and whatever.
Kohei's the guy, bro. Shout out.
Kohei is the guy, bro. Shout outs to Horikoshi.
Yeah.
I don't. When the series first starts, you don't really feel like Todoroki's their number 3. Or the
I
third.
thought he was number 1.
Well, sure, he was like in the class. He was number 1 right from the jump, and had the most hype around him. But
I would say they're all relatively even.
Well, yeah, me too. But I just didn't kind of feel like it was almost like they're a trio, And I mean, that obviously with this chapter showing us, but like just like going through the class, like I felt like Ida, would have been like their third, and then
Ida.
I mean, not like his powers that tight, but just the way that I don't know the development. The development worked. Yeah,
but now he's like being like relegated to like literally like a jokey ass side character, where he's just oftentimes when he's in panels, he's just like on the side just yelling some stupid shit, or like it's hard for me to recognize him in panels a lot of times now.
It's sad to me too.
Yeah, even though Ida is like being portrayed the way that he is now, like I feel like his character was always introduced to be modeled after like Cyclops.
That makes sense.
As like the like the poster child, like Boy Scout, type.
The
type leader,
the ideal hero, like the image for the heroes, public image type shit. He's gonna be like the.
Yeah, I've been like trying my best to like draw parallels between, like characters from Class A and like some of the more like famous like X-Men lineups that we've seen, like. But Ida definitely like always had big Cyclops vibes to me. Yeah. And Bakugo like is the Wolverine to me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that about covers it for Hero.
You know what it is.
It was actually surprisingly a lot though to this chapter. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
But what time
Hero
it is.
Not spending a lot of time down in Hero, but yes,
thank God.
As Noxie said,
please, thank you.
You know what it is.
Yeah.
It's time for some One Piece
Wano season, baby.
Wano season, Zoro season, fucking Enma.
Well, first,
get your Zoro dick sucking out of the way.
No. Calm down. Let's back up a bit. Let's not jump all the way to the. Yeah, let's not.
Let's take a look at the cover story though, real quick.
Thank you. That's what I wanted to talk about to start, because he's in Dressrosa. Beige is in Dressrosa.
He's on Dressrosa.
Yeah.
So our guys are gonna hook him up because they heard the news that he was running with Luffy, because they got the news coup.
Yeah.
And they're gonna refuel him up, and he's gonna. I don't know.
Pull up.
He didn't get over. He didn't go
back to Paradise.
Yeah, he didn't get over the red line.
He couldn't. He must have been. They repelled his ass.
Maybe Paradise is going to be Dressrosa for him, and we're going to be done with this shit.
Hey.
I mean, it is nice there.
When I say Paradise, I mean the first red line. Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I hope we kind of wrap that up though and get to a new cover chapter.
Yeah, for sure. This chapter itself was really cool because we get the official ranks for Enma and Ameno Habikiri coming in at the Owazemono grade.
Owazemono,
which is interesting to see. I could have sworn that at least
I
Enma
thought for sure
Saijo Owazemono, but
yeah, I was thinking I would agree.
Yeah.
So we don't have another one other than Yoru, right? Still.
Yeah. Well, no. Because in the Viver cards, I'm pretty sure Whitebeard's Naginata was or his Bicento, whatever it is. It's a Naginata or a Bicento, whichever one it is. That was confirmed to be a Saijo. Yeah,
nice.
But it wasn't black.
Well, see, that's the thing.
Does it have to be black to be Saijo or Wazimono?
It was pre-time skip though, and there was no hard.
I like that. That makes sense.
But Yoru was black pre-time skip.
Yeah, right.
Pre-time skip. Yeah,
right.
But no. Yoru's always been black.
Yeah.
Since
what he says.
Yoru was black pre-time skip, but
since
like,
the Baratsu.
well, I was saying
they would have showed if Whitebeard's weapon.
Right, exactly. I was refuting my own point because I was like, oh, it was pre-time skip, but then I was like, well, Yoru has always been black, so
yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe that's just kind of something that. I don't want to say it's overlooked, but it's not. I wouldn't say it's overlooked either. I think it's just one of the things that maybe, if that is the case, that he maybe threw in later. Like you said, it's in a Viva card or some shit.
It's
in like the Viva card data books. Yeah,
those are like almost like retcons. The Viva card.
Well, No, because
sometimes
really retcon,
in some
like,
cases,
yeah, he's definitely retconned.
Somewhere it's retcons. A lot of times it's just stupid information, like inconsequential, like favorite foods or sea of origin. But then there are some like tidbits of huge information.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh damn, okay, what does this mean?
I remember one time
not huge information, but some information with some potentially huge implication.
I remember one time I saw in a Vita Card data book, Oda was talking about how Django's goatee was like a mushroom. That like grew on his chin, and then he ate it because he was starving, and it gave him powers. Secret. That's cool as fuck to me, dude. Buddy was
it's
out
funny.
Here. Buddy was
it's
out
funny
here
because of the hypnotist power.
Yeah, it's good. I like that.
But yeah, Ame no Habakiri and Enma looking clean.
Yeah, and this chapter was amazing for Zoro. I could see a lot of people
Chapter of the year.
Yeah, maybe it might be. This was definitely the strongest chapter coming out of Jump this week. And I can see people, complaining that it seems like Zoro is getting like high level Ryuo for free, but he was clearly ready to have it because he literally just shouts at Enma and reverses the atrophy instantly. You know what I mean? Like that's and that just goes into like, and like people might be like salty that like Luffy trained so long in Udon to get any kind of like Ryuo mastery, and Zoro just seems to like be totally cool with it. I mean, he still has to get used to
Zoro has like an impetus that like just pulls it out of him.
Yeah.
And he just has to take it back, where Luffy had to like learn to project it out of himself.
But Zoro seems like he's just going to like swing his swords around for a couple days and be totally fine. You know what I mean? But I mean, like that makes sense to his character anyway, because he's always in the gym. Like he's always training. Like Luffy doesn't really train like that. I mean, like he had 2 years with Rayleigh, but I feel like a lot of his training was maybe like half hockey training and then like half like trying to find out how to like infuse that into his devil fruit ability, whereas Zoro was probably just push-ups, like sword techniques and hockey the whole time. You know what I mean? Like it, and he's constantly training. That's a part of his character anyways, to always train. So it makes a little bit more sense that he would be able to get Ryuo quicker than Luffy anyway. In my opinion. But
I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't say that they would get it quicker, but
it seems like he's gonna have it like because I mean like
Luffy has it right now. Luffy has
it right now, but how long has he been in Udon? Zoro gets Enma, and this is his first Ryuo situation that we've seen.
Well, it does say that I have to keep training with this, and I have to get used to this, and if I do, I'll get stronger. Where Luffy is already there. Yeah, Luffy's already there.
Right, but I mean like the time that's passed, Luffy started Ryuo training in Udon how long before Zoro got Enma? And then Zoro,
7 days.
Yeah, 7 days. So like there's a little bit of a gap there. But I mean like
something like that. I'm just guessing. It's roughly that
and it could take longer than after the start of the raid for Zoro to like achieve like a proper level of mastery. But I mean like just seeing him like shout at Enma and reverse the atrophy like that, it's shit like this that we need to see from Zoro every now and then to help like solidify our vision that he's going to be the #1 swordsman. You know what I mean? Like like we need to see like that super badass like sword moments like this from Zoro, just like we need to see Luffy take out a Yonko, just like we need to see Luffy rally 5,000 people to his cause and gain a fleet overnight. You know what I mean? Like it's shit like this that help us to get a more clear vision that they are going to achieve their ambitions eventually.
And me personally, I've always kind of struggled with feeling like, especially at this arc, and I don't know, maybe over the whole series, really, where it just feels like Sanji's kind of getting left behind.
It does.
And I don't know. I'm coming to terms with it more so than I don't know what it did. Maybe just thinking about this chapter, but like, I mean, Zoro has to be
that guy.
Considerably above. He does kind of have to be considerably above.
Yeah, Sanji. And Sanji's a part of the monster trio, but he's not a warrior type.
Why is that?
Because look, man, Sanji is a part of the monster
Sanji's
trio.
role?
Yeah, he's not a warrior type. Like he's not a leader.
He is a fighting cook. That's his title.
He's a fighting cook, but his ambitions aren't war related.
Yes, and
he's a combatant.
What's Zoro's job? What's Zoro's role?
Zoro is going to be #1.
Zoro has no job. He's a swordsman.
Zoro's role is to fight, just like Luffy. Those two are the only two whose role is
a primary combatant in the crew also.
Yeah, I know, he still is, even if he gets left behind significantly. He's still leagues ahead of the next strongest Straw Hat, and that's totally fine. He doesn't.
But it's not like Zoro's leagues ahead of him.
But if he does end up being like, I mean, look at the situations that we've had in the lore since the time skip. Look at how many more badass moments Zoro has had and Luffy has had compared to Sanji.
So whose strength is closer?
What's Zoro into? Zoro.
Is it Sanji? Is Sanji and Zoro's strength closer, or Zoro and Luffy's strength closer?
Zoro Killer put a scythe in.
I would put
Zoro's
Sanji and Zoro relatively the same distance away from, and he passed out right after that move.
No. That's not what I'm talking about.
If Luffy fought Yukimaru and Killer, is he passing out after he gets
Listen to me.
No, he's whooping both their asses, and then he's walking away afterwards, laughing his ass off, eating poison meat.
That's great. Killer puts a scythe in Zoro's chest, and he flexes the muscles around it and doesn't let him take it back, and then puts it in his mouth and one-shots him.
And then passes out.
Yeah, I know. I'm talking about the moment, not afterwards. Sanji doesn't have moments. Sanji doesn't have badass moments like that. Sanji
put the raid suit on, blitzed motherfucking page 1, and one-shot him with a Kankase.
That's
as far as we're led to believe.
But I'm just saying, like, you're going to see
when he couldn't even damage him beforehand.
Yeah. You certainly can be right. Like, we just don't have enough from Sanji too. So like maybe that's just what it is.
The only actual physical representation we've ever gotten in the series put them a certain distance away from each other, and that's just like how it's always been represented.
Zoro is showing higher durability feats than Sanji throughout the series. Zoro has more. I mean, obviously, you can argue who has more badass moments. It depends on what you consider badass, obviously. But you can tell that Oda is increasing the gap.
Well, so here's the thing.
They both stepped up in the Yasue situation.
Well, Zoro's strengths are strength and endurance and durability, whereas Sanji has that stuff too, but I feel like Sanji is always going to be a little bit more stealth, guile, finesse, speed, exactly, all those things, yes. Yeah. And I would say that Sanji's faster than Zoro.
Sure.
Foot speed.
Yeah.
He has shit like Geppo and Blue Walk and like Blue Walk. Like what really is Blue Walk gonna amount to in this story? Like it could amount to a lot, but I mean if Jinbei comes back, I don't know, Sanji and Jinbei
can move like that in the air too. Like Blue Walk is just that level of
it's Soru in underwater.
Yeah.
I feel like it's Soru underwater.
When he blitzed over to Doflamingo, like he showed that he had that speed in the air too, like tight. On land.
That was tight.
That
was a really big Sanji moment.
But I mean, as far as Wano goes, like, it's been the Yasue moment. They both stepped up. Sanji fought page 1. Zoro fought Killer and Gyuki. And that's it. I mean, Zoro and Luffy had their little scuffle with like Batman.
Yeah.
And Hawkins.
Yeah.
Other than that,
I just need some more.
Zoro hasn't been like flexing out on you.
The tightest thing Sanji did in Fishman Island was kick Watatsumi vertically up in the air like 500 feet. That was super tight. But I mean, it's not.
Well, that was a whack arc for everybody. I mean, Zoro fought.
But Zoro had the brightest shining moment in that arc, in my opinion.
No.
Yeah.
Luffy using Conqueror's Haki and putting everybody to sleep was probably the biggest moment.
That was super tight. And we're gonna see that. We're gonna see that here too in this arc.
Yeah. I mean.
Oh yeah, we'll see. I think I was thinking that earlier too. We'll see a little paralleling moment with that.
Yeah.
So
I was thinking it would be nice if Luffy and Kid both flexed their shit and knocked a bunch of people out.
But I mean, like
that would be something that would.
Is that friendly?
I need to see Kid do some shit. Like I need to see Kid do some shit.
Is that Conqueror's Haki wave? Is that friendly fire? Like, will he knock out people on his team too? Or
no?
Yeah, I didn't think that.
No,
well, it's selective. Pretty much from what we've seen, you can kind of.
Yeah, but on Fishman Island, I mean, it was just the Straw Hats versus the Fishman. So, and he's not going to knock out any of the Straw Hats.
Well, Kid?
No. I'm talking about Luffy.
I was going to say he might.
Luffy, when he did the Conqueror's Haki wave in Fishman Island and knocked out the 50,000 Fishmen, it was literally just him and the Straw Hats versus them. So do we know for certain if there's no chance for a friendly fire moment while they have 10,000 on their side and X amount, over on the Kaido side, will he potentially knock out the samurai on his team?
I mean, One Piece is hard to know a lot of things for sure.
You can select who it knocks out as far as
I'm pretty sure you can too. I think Rayleigh says that.
Yeah, okay.
But
I was just asking.
As far as like, I think what could be a funny thing is where if Kid does come and flex Haki with Luffy, where Kid might knock out some of the samurai and Luffy's crew that are too weak-willed. And Luffy's like, what the fuck did you do that for? And he's like, I don't give a shit. What the fuck you mean? I ain't trying to hold back. If they're fodder, they're fodder. Get them the fuck out of here.
I don't see any of the Straw Hats being the kind of people that can be knocked out by
weak-willed
Conqueror's Haki at this point.
Yeah,
I think maybe.
kind of mad
I
about
think
that.
maybe like Chopper. I think there's a couple of them that might get put out.
I mean, Nami and Usopp and Chopper are supposed to be the 3 weak ones, but I don't know. Like Chopper's definitely shouldn't.
Chopper's
be on
hard
their
body.
level. Chopper shouldn't be put on their
level.
Yeah, no, I don't think so either. But that's kind of what they kind of make it sound like. But I mean, there's still like a lot of things to talk about this chapter. I think
I'm glad that Zoro wants to keep Enma. He's just reinforcing that above everything, like honor, fairness, etc. He seems to care most about getting stronger and achieving his goals. So it could have gone a couple different ways and still can, but it's cool to get confirmation on his thought process on the whole thing, because a lot of people are like, he's not going to want Enma. He's not going to want to give Ryu Shusui back. He's not going to want this. He's not going to want that. He just wants whatever the fastest beeline route is to being #1 swordsman, and whatever that means he has to do to get there, which is cool to see that confirmation on his thoughts there.
Yeah. I mean, I always thought he would just keep Shusui under the pretense of like, I won this sword. It was kind of fucking gifted to me by honor.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and that might have been how he felt originally. And I think he does actually say something about that, like, no, this shit is mine. But like when it comes down to it, all of a sudden here's Enma, and obviously it's a tighter sword than Shusui. So he's like, all right, fine, yeah, this is mine now then. Fuck Shusui.
Yeah.
Which is
But yeah, there are elements that feel a little, I don't know.
Yeah.
Rushed, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know about rushed. I
don't think I would agree with rushed.
I don't know. I mean, I wonder if, I don't know.
Yeah.
So, well, let me. Did y'all know Luffy was gang related?
What do you mean?
Bro, he shook up with the leader of the 9 Red Bloods.
Oh yeah.
They shook up before they had to go, and make sure he had squad on lock, But the one big thing that I haven't seen nobody talk about anywhere that has dawned on me recently while reading this chapter is that Big Mom is a swordsman.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't Zoro fight her?
Ooh. Because she doesn't proclaim herself as one.
I don't know. Like, there's a lot of times.
It's not the same vibe you get.
I don't know. Like, there's a lot of times. I mean, maybe not a lot of times, but like, even like, I don't know. I go back to Kabaji, right? And he tries to attack Luffy with the sword. And he didn't call himself a swordsman. And Zoro said, "You got a sword, you fight me. If you have a sword, you fight me. No matter who you are. Basically, you got a sword, you got to fight me." So
I like it.
I mean, it's just that we see here that Luffy has mastered Rio.
Yeah, that's super cool to see.
When he doesn't damage the front of the tree and he only blows the back out of the tree.
Yeah.
Right.
And then he says, "Just you wait, Kaido." Like, so we know it's gotta be Luffy's gonna 1v1 Kaido. Like, I feel like that more so now after everything. And like, now I feel like Zoro can 1v1 Big Mom, and that would be so tight. Like, and I mean, because what else is who's fighting those two? Like, I mean,
dude, I'm subscribed to the theory that that Kaido Big Mom alliance is going to go south so quick.
I know.
They were faded, they're buzzed, they're drinking a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, let's be friends real quick. And then she's going to be like, hold on, dog. Like, wait, what am I doing? I'm Big Mom in this bitch. And Kaido's going to be like, yeah, what was I thinking? Like, yeah, maybe we used to smash back in the day and you had Katakuri and Daifuku, but that was a long time ago. I don't know. That's a theory that I've seen online.
And Oven.
Cool.
I think Zoro needs help to Big Mom.
Yeah. Also, another thing I wanted to ask you guys about, it's like Shinobu might be the traitor here.
Yeah.
Because she kind of won't leave Law alone and keeps trying to push the agenda that Law is the traitor, which makes it's kind of rubbing me the wrong way. So we could be looking at a situation where she's low key a part of the Oniwa Banshu. Because it's kind of fishy how Drake and Hawkins show up at the bathhouse when it's just Nami and Robin and Shinobu there. You know what I mean? There's a lot of really weird moments that I've been that have been kind of irking me, with her character, and seeing her in this chapter be Law, it's just why does this bitch keep trying to throw Law under the bus, man? What did Law ever do?
That's a good theory for sure. And of course Oda would throw a curveball like that, especially when he's trying to make it look like Law is the traitor in this chapter. At the end, you get to see Orochi all right, I know their plans. They changed the plans to Habu Harbor to Tokage. Hiyori's still alive and she's in the north. So Hiyori not going with just the crew basically, and Kawamatsu joining up without her. She's saying, I'm about to go I got something else to do. She doesn't really say, she's like, I'm not going to go with you guys because feelings are going to be, a hindrance here. And I don't want to be like, that for you guys, but I got to go elsewhere somewhere. Like, where is that? Which is to the north, I guess, according to Orochi. So is she going to get captured? Is she going to be held hostage in some way? Probably. I don't know. But the other thing with right after that panel, it shows Law with the, little bandage on his face. And the music at first, I kind of took it for Apu for some reason, because there's like music in the, right there. But then the next couple of panels, they're singing for the Fire Festival or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
And so.
But Apu's on some fuck shit too.
Yeah. I mean,
Kid is fucking Apu up right now.
Oh man, I would love to see it.
So magnetism and sound vibration. I don't know if we're going to get that much into science here as far as Oda goes, but like, isn't there some kind of relation, and don't they interact with each other somehow?
Maybe. I don't know. I wouldn't know.
Because sound is vibration.
Yeah. I like it. That's cool.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's really cool.
And Oda's not big in the ways of, like, let's break shit down on a scientific level, but he does just enough to make shit make sense and still be crazy.
That's another thing that I love about Oda, is that he uses like his own kind of like pseudoscience. You know what I mean? Like he knows that he doesn't want to be held, accountable for the things that he tries to actually incorporate with like real life physics. So he like incorporates his own like fictional, version of those real life, like concepts. You know what I mean? Like DNA is lineage factor.
Lineage factor, was great.
There's a lot of examples of that throughout his storytelling. That is like it's safe, but it's also like it's also innovative. I mean, maybe is the word that I want to use, or ingenuitive. I don't know if that's the word, but like it just shows like that he really is thinking about this shit on a scientific level, even if it isn't something that we can root in actual reality.
But yeah, and it's just honestly, I feel like if you're going to go the science route, you need to Dr. Stone it. And actually, shout out to Dr. Stone, because that last chapter fucked me up, man.
I'm not current on Dr. Stone, but I've heard you guys talking about it for the last couple of weeks.
Last chapter, Dr. Stone fucked me up. But anyway, you need to have a fucking physicist on retainer here to help you with you need mad science. You need mad scientists like with you to try to do some shit like that. So it's great that he's like, nerds can't be like, hey, that's not how DNA works. And he's like, that ain't DNA. It's lineage factor. STFU.
That's my shit. You can't say shit to me. Yeah.
So yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
But I mean,
who do you guys want to see show up here? Who do you guys think's showing up here?
I mean, everybody in the whole world.
Everybody in the whole world. I can see Tashigi and Smoker showing up here. This could be a good arc for Tashigi, considering she's like a sword nerd. It's
kind of baffling to me that Tashigi's not been involved yet. But
I mean, this is only Act 2. We get 3 more acts.
It's kind of baffling to me that we got one day now, and like Nekamamushi is still not here,
and we don't have Denjiro either.
Oh, they're about to activate, bro. Like it's like moving into like climactic areas. You know,
it's actually it's the day. We're on the day.
Yeah,
like it's the day.
Yeah, but so I'm just saying, like, Oda has a tendency to bring people
show up
at crazy moments. Yeah, so I mean, like, if they're off panel for a while, that they're about to come in at some super crazy moment in a conflict and block something or hit somebody out of the blind spot. Yeah.
Well, and, no. We all know that one day in One Piece can last 1 year in real life, where literally 52 chapters is 1 day or more. I mean, one day could last probably 2 or 3 years in this story. But so you mentioned how we could have 3 more acts, which was based on
people talking about. But I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. And I think maybe Eagle brought that up last week, or last week when we did this.
Well, what people base it all off is that Kabuki plays usually have like 4 or 5 acts, and so that's how many they think they'll have.
Okay, well, and I liked 5 acts because we do not have a Gear 5 yet, and vehicles, most motor vehicles are 5 gears. So,
hey,
I don't know.
Okay.
Something to think about,
like that.
But again, are 3 acts going to all encompass 1 day? I don't think so. Like if we are getting 3 more acts, then maybe one of those acts is like like this next act, in fact, Act 3 will take us away, and that's actually what happened between Act 1 and 2. I want to say is that it took us away from Wano for a little bit to show us maybe some Reverie shit, or I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Check it out, bro. I mean, if this is really going to be like a situation where, you know, that Oda was talking about that's going to make Marineford look like child's play, it better be 3 more acts, dog.
Well, and a third act could just be everybody gearing up to get involved with this shit, because
would we really
know the world government
dedicated to that though?
I mean, I don't
Oda
know.
can do no wrong, but
I mean, I just don't know. Like, if we're thinking that this is 5 acts, I don't know. I seen things that it was 3 acts, and it was based on, which was back to the theory of going around again, where they don't actually, you know, get to Raftel this time through, because the way the 3 acts were each different arc. Let me see. Like, it was first act was Impel Down. Second act was, or wait, maybe first
for
act
Summit
was,
War?
Yeah. First act was
Thriller Bark.
First act, no, I thought first act was Shabandi,
No,
and then second act was Impel Down, and third act was Marineford, whatever. Paramount.
Marineford War Saga starts with Thriller Bark.
No, I know, but Thriller Bark, I'm not. There's a Thriller Bark saga, and then there's like 3 more sagas before the time skip, which is, or 3 more arcs before the time skip, which is Shabandi, Impel Down, and there's Amazon Lily in there too. Yeah. But you can kind of count Amazon Lily and Impel Down as the same arc, really, because he geared up for Boa to bring him to the prison.
Yeah.
And so third arc. Third act,
okay. I see what you're saying now. I'm talking about like
Marineford,
like an omnibus, you know, style like thing where like if you were to go get the Whitebeard or the Marineford War saga all in one book, it would start with Thriller Bark, is what I was saying.
Sure. Yeah. Well, and actually, I mean, it even might start with the end of Enies Lobby, really, where Ace and Blackbeard fight, because I mean that's kind of the whole catalyst to it. But anyway, like that just is to that theory of how the first half of the Grand Line, those arcs. The first half of the Grand Line, those arcs mirror the second half, you know, and that's just something I saw. But a couple of other things as far as like Zoro's concerned, the famed artisan Yusaburo Shimotsuki, you know, like, who is that? I mean, he fled more than 50 years ago. He fled the country illegally. So that makes it sound like
Koshiro's great grandpa or something.
I mean, not Koshiro. I don't think Koshiro. I saw theories that
Shimotsuki.
I seen theories that Kyoshiro is Denjiro.
Yeah, I seen that too. I like
Possibly.
that.
So, yeah,
like that. It would explain a lot of things.
Why he ain't here? Why we ain't got him? And why he hasn't? I don't think Kyoshiro has been around any of the 9 red sheaths.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, that's what we were talking about in the last episode too.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't think we've ever seen anybody that is affiliated with the Scabbards like see Denjiro or interact with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's not for no reason either.
No. So, do we also think that all these other slaves and workers and factories and whatnot are all going to be part of this? Because I certainly do. Like, obviously, the prisoners they can't, you know, they're like, hey, let us participate in the Fire Fest. We're like, no, fuck you, you're a prisoner. Like, why would we let you? You know, he's like, I can't believe they didn't let me out to participate in the fun festival.
Yeah. Why wouldn't they be?
Yeah, I mean,
Oda wouldn't show that if he wasn't planning on having everybody.
Well, because of the thing that and we were talking about this off camera, but how Viz has it translated as 100,000 men.
Yeah.
And just about any other translation I saw was 10,000 men. And we were talking about that last week, or maybe not last week, but I think just a little earlier we were talking about it. Maybe before like Viz came out and we didn't see that, but you know, we were talking about the numbers and how they could match up like just about evenly, or
just almost perfectly to 10K with the fleet 10K. And what they have.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. So, I mean, I don't know. We'll kind of see, because I mean, is Viz is supposed to be the ultimate whatever word on the shit, but I mean, they also got Animal Kingdom pirates. So
Viz be leaving words out and like saying different words. Like
And I understand what they're doing, right?
Reason.
Like,
I don't know like what kind of agenda that is, or maybe it's not an agenda, but I just don't understand why they would leave words out or mistranslate them in such a weird way, or maybe not mistranslate them, but just say words weird.
The time that when Hunter came back and throughout all of this, and we got walls of text each chapter in the new, Hunter chapters, right?
Yeah.
And when I'm reading it on whatever scantillations or whatever, it was longer and harder to get through, and Viz did really make it concise and make it more understandable. And I saw just like a YouTube video or something of somebody explaining, like what Viz tries to do in that manner, which is like for Hunter and in that arc in particular, the Succession arc, that makes a lot of sense. Whereas like One Piece, like there's so many like hidden background themes and like just a lot of stuff that I want as much information that I can get.
Anything out. And I mean, like Viz is going to have a different translator for every book, I feel like, but they're still all going to have proofreaders, that double check the translator's work. So it's weird that we would get like a word as important as like Nima Warigumi left out by, I mean, I can understand like human error in regard to like the translator, but the proofreader comes through and double checks it and it's still left out.
Yeah.
That was really weird to me.
Yeah. So, and 100,000 versus 10,000 is not translator.
It's a big deal.
That's and that's not something lost in translation, and that's not something that's up for debate, right? Those are numbers.
Yeah.
There's no, somebody's wrong here, and we need to know that. Yeah. Because 100,000 seems like way too much. Like, where is 100,000 coming from?
Right.
Right. Which I know that's just a guess by Frankie. Like
in all the labor camps and people show up.
But didn't they say that they only added 200 people from the Udon prison? Like, it's in this chapter. We got 200.
Look at all these factories. Gee, there's a ton of them.
Yeah. And I can sign on to that.
We're probably not getting close to 100,000, but it's just a number Frankie pulled out of his ass, probably.
Yeah. And I would like that.
Players fuck up.
Well, I'd like that to just, be expounded on a little bit, and I know it won't, it's kind of gone. Like, because after this chapter, like, this is a whole, you can almost take it as a new arc, or a, I don't know. I'm pretty confident we got a break as far as away from Wano to show us other things elsewhere. And I just don't see how we don't get that. If that's what happened, which I could be wrong, but if that did happen, that has to be what the case is, because I just don't see how Act 3 we go right into the war. This next week here
could be true. Yeah. Hiyori breaking the fourth wall again. Where do you guys think she's going to play that goddamn instrument and shut the arc down, or shut the act down?
That is her at the end. Okay, and that is something I wanted to talk about. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know either.
It's like, why you think that's just something he's doing for the fuck of it, or like maybe she's got some actual ability where
I don't think he does anything for the fuck of it.
Well, and that's the part that confuses
like breaking
me.
The fourth wall here.
Yeah.
Where she's closing out the arc and like shutting the curtains and shit on the scene. It's like, whoa.
Maybe that's not her.
Well, no, because, I mean,
I know she played
as far
that.
As the anime goes, it's like it's her.
Yeah.
Because it's the coloring scheme is the same and shit, and it's like,
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
It is what it is. I mean, we'll figure it out. If he's gonna expound on it, he will. But it's just weird to me how she's been breaking the fourth wall like that.
Yeah.
And like playing us out and into all the arcs.
Yeah.
Or not arcs, but acts.
Yeah. I don't know. I like it. I mean,
even
if it doesn't,
I think necessarily needs to have too much time spent on speculation for it. At least not right
now.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys got anything else?
No, I think that's about it. We can wrap it up here because we're running a little bit long on time here. I mean, actually, we did pretty good this time, I think. But
yeah, I think we should be pretty good on length. But that was a great discussion, you guys.
You guys notice we talk about Jujutsu Kaisen almost as much as we talk about One Piece. That's got the next most every week. And I know these are hot chapters right now, but it seems like, and maybe it's just where we started, but I feel like we go and it's got to be the strategy, right? It's got to be the Hunter vibes. It's like there's just so much to talk about. And
best thing coming out of Jump right now.
Hollow purple.
Pink.
The motherfucker say, yeah.
So
concave buddy's torso all like bric-a-brash.
I mean, you got to have a One Piece chapter like this to like to be the best chapter of the week, because that Jujutsu Kaisen chapter is like the best chapter of the week any other day ever. But this One Piece chapter, you just can't, like, Oda's the god.
One
like
Piece went
this
crazy.
is it. One Piece did go crazy.
Oda-sama.
Yeah. And man.
Well, with that being said, I think we can wrap it up here.
Another great week, baby.
Another fabulous episode of the Project Manga podcast. With that all being said, thank you so much for watching. If you did, like we said at the beginning, smash that subscribe button if you've been enjoying the Project Manga podcast so far. We'll keep bringing you these episodes and tangential tie-ins every goddamn week. Like the video if you like the video. Comment down below if you want to. We'll discuss some things with you. Also, follow the link tree in the box down below. With that, you can find not only our Discord, which you should join. Come chill, come talk, come bullshit. Join the community event that we're running right now. In a couple weeks, you can watch it live. It's already full up, but you can watch it.
And then I think we'll probably once we do it live, I think we'll record it and put it on the channel too. So if you miss it live, we'll put it up here for you guys too.
That'd be cool, yeah.
Also, the link tree will bring you to other various social media platforms of ours that we're doing. All of our communities kind of got different cool stuff going on. So come check it out. Come chill. And with that all being said, like we said, another fantabulous episode of the Project Manga podcast. Wrapping up, I'm your host, Eagle.
I'm Kiko.
Noxie.
Sarabada.